Hello everyone, it's Sylvia here from Casino Library and welcome to Tangles on Tuesday. In this series, we're going to take you through the process of creating beautiful art pieces known as tangle. Hi Tanglers, welcome back to Tuesday. 2 new tangles today, and the first one we're going to start off with is called Fescu. Now this is a very simple tangle and it starts off with a pod and then just a gentle curve line down. You can vary fescue by varying the size of your pod, so to speak, with just a small dot that I've done there to start, then coming around a little bit of a slight curve, slight S shape. So fescue is great for any of those tangles we do that have some flowers or a bit of a garden feel. Anything that you can dream up, anywhere where you think it would look good. So it can just be just a curve, bit of a gentle curve, more like the C shape, or I quite like the look of that gentle kind of S shape, that little flick at the end. Now the reason I wanted to start off with this one today is because our next tangle is based on fescue, and they can overlap as we are here any way that your heart desires. So like I said, really doesn't get much simpler than that, does it? But it does tend to be a wonderful filler, and as I said, wonderful in anything that's got some flowers, rocks. We can add some shading to add a little bit more emphasis to that tangle. Just a little bit of light pencil work on your fescue, and then taking your blending tool, your paper stump, just blending that into your tangle. Just adds that bit of drama, I guess, a bit more interest, something else that's happening there. And it does make a difference when we start to do our shading. I've shaded on the underside. No reason we couldn't shade around the back. See what that looks like. Really is just a matter of playing with it, getting a feel for what you like. It's whatever effect you want to end up with. So you can see the differences there. So really quick, simple fescue. Okay, so I've shown you fescue, and that leads into our next tangle, which is called angelfish, and this is a tangle by Marizanne van Beek, and it's based on the fescue tangle. And what we do is draw our first fescue, so with our pod, and coming down and around just like that. So I'm going to treat this as my center of my angelfish. I'm going to keep drawing fescue, fanning around both sides of that, and each one that I do will become slightly shorter, and just flicking down and just working your way down with the space that you have. Pop another one in there. Now going to continue coming back around the other side of that first fescue that I did. Again, drawing my pod and just that gentle curve back down towards the bottom there. Another one. And just as you need to, turn your card so you've got it in the right position. Now there's no set number of fescues that we draw to make up our angelfish. It'll just depend on the space that you're working in and how much space you put between each of these ones here. So then we're just going to go and join each of these pods. And just going to start with the first one, coming around and tucking in under the next pod. So again, it's that gentle backwards S shape, coming around and tucking in under. And again, coming around, tucking in under, and coming around and just taking that off to the edge as if it's continuing to the next pod. So then I keep going, doing that all the way around and working in the same direction. So I'm not going to now reverse and go this way. I'm actually going to continue coming in this pod, coming around, tucking in under, so that they're all going in that same direction. So just tucking in. It's a very pretty tangle. Tucking in, and I'm going to work backwards as if. So there we have it. Fescu forming the basis of that lovely angelfish tangle. Now I'm going to show you some shading. And these angelfish can be as wide or broad as you like. They can be narrow, they can be quite long, they can be short and stumpy. You can work them in any way you like. So just going to put a little bit of pencil, just slightly, because I can always come back and add more, but it's a bit difficult to take it away. I'd rather work lightly. And my shading tool, my paper stump, and just blending that. Just show you how that will bring up or take this tangle up a notch, up to another level. Take that out with my finger where I've got a little too heavy. Too heavy for my liking anyway. And use any pencil that's on your paper stump. Just spread that around, because sometimes you have enough on there without having to add any more pencil in. And you can see just how effective that is, how amazing that is, how amazing that looks when we bring in that shading. Don't be afraid to play with your shading. It really adds something. There are some tangles that just really come to life when you pop in that shading. So that is really, really effective. That shading thrown in. All right, let's do another one coming out of the corner. So this one came off a straight edge. I'm going to do one coming out from the corner. So again, working with my 0.1, I'm going to turn that right around and come out from the corner here. So my first fescue, I'll do my pod. I'm just going to come around and down into that corner, and then these ones will get shorter as I work my way around, but I'm also working in a narrower space, so to speak. So I haven't got as many fescue coming around from that centre one as I did the first one I showed you over here. And again, coming around, down, put in one more there. So that's going to look quite different again, as we did with our first one. Wrapping around the pod and linking them up, that backwards looking S or curve. Make your pod a little larger if you want to as you go, it's up to you. Find that you've done them a little bit too small to start. Around. And coming up the page with that. And the same there. So you can see that that one looks quite different again with that. It worked in the smaller space and closer together, a little bit narrower. So again, we'll pop in some shading. Just like we did before, just a little bit of light pencil. Don't need much. And then blending it, working it with our blending tool. It's just as much or as little as you like when it comes to that shading. So fescue, which then becomes angelfish. Really awesome. Really lovely tangle, simple, very effective. You could, let's have a go at doing another one coming off that. Now I don't know what this is going to look like because I haven't done it. So this is a first. So I'll draw in my pod and I'll bring that down as if it tucks in behind this one. And this one. And that one. And that one. So it's coming out from behind this one. Like I said, I haven't done it before. What's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, we don't like it. Or I don't like it, but let's see how we go. This is where I need to take my own advice and just play with it and see what we come up with. All right, I'm going to link those up now, see what we get. Let's see. Okay, so just joining each of the pods up. There we go, I've linked up each of the pods. And we can see that it gives the impression of this angelfish here coming out from behind this one. And you could continue on doing that and filling your space, or you might decide that you want to just draw them individually throughout your space that you're working with. And just a little bit of shading, just light, because it really does make a difference with that tangle. It's quite an elegant tangle, very soft, elegant, floaty, just as the name suggests, the beautiful angelfish. So there we are. Oh, even looks different when I turn my tile. I quite like that. So it's like these are ending up merging. We could keep going and adding them in through here. I'm not going to because I don't want to muck it up. I like it just how it is actually. So that there for you today. Fescu, really basic simple tangle, but with some shading. Can be quite dramatic, which then leads into this beautiful tangle called angelfish. So this is the challenge tile that I left with you last week. How did you go with it? I suggested that these lines here might be used to practice our flip down L tangle. So this is what I came up with. I flip down L tangle here and here because I wanted to give the effect as if it was a zipper opening up the 3 rocks that I decided to create with the string that I had. And I have my tangle here, which is nipper. This was going to be Anne's apple, but I decided that I had done my grids a little too small, so I just drew circles within the squares that I already had. And we've got our tipple in here and our rain tangle, and here's our mascari that we also learnt last week. And in here I've just popped in a couple of little Indirella just for a bit of interest. So I hope you've had fun with that. I enjoyed doing that. It was a little bit of a change from the other strings we've been doing, and it was almost felt like I was creating a picture as such. Here's your challenge tile for this week and the string that I've drawn in for you, just so that you can practice your fescu tangle and then leading into the angelfish tangle that we did today. So have fun with that, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with when we catch up again next week. Below you'll find a link to the practice sheet that I've been using here today. You'll also find a link to this week's challenge tile. If you're unable to access these from your computer at home, we'll make some packs available. All you have to do is give us a call on 666 00 250 and give us a day or two to get those ready for you. That pack will also include some pre-cut 3.5 by 3.5 inch tiles to get you started. And remember, if you'd like to receive instant updates when new content is added to our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. Thanks for joining us here today, and we'll see you next week for another Tangles on Tuesday.